Welcome to the post-auction review video where we will go through the results of the Silverstone Auctions sale, which was held at the Classic Motor Show at the NEC on Friday the 12th. In our preview video, you would have seen that we highlighted some of the bikes that we thought were of most interest. We'll go through those as well here, but what we'll also do is pick out one or two nuggets, if you like, what we thought were the absolute bargains which cropped up and any other surprises that happened along the way. The first of the lots that we highlighted was lot 110, the 1977 BMW R100 RS. A truly immaculate example of this very, very comfortable, very reliable big sports tourer. Estimate on that was 5,000 to 6,000 and it achieved pretty solid but fairly reasonable £4,838 all in, including the fees, which was, I think, good for the buyer in particular. Next up, we looked at the 1985 Kawasaki GPZ 600R. So really, really good entry-level mid-size sports bike from the mid-80s. We've seen GPZ 900Rs, the ones that was like ridden by Tom Cruise in Top Gear, are fetching quite good money now, and the 750 turbos are over 10,000. This one had a fairly low estimate and just achieved the price of £2,475, including all the fees. So really smart bike, recommissioned, ready to ride, gets you into the world of classic bikes for what, less than £2,500. Really good. Third bike was the one that I picked as my personal favourite of all the lots that were on offer, and it was the really special and really interesting 1970 Honda CB750 KO. What was special about this one was that it was a one owner from new, genuine UK specified bike, one of 36 examples, stored for 25 years, had a really high estimate, or solid estimate, £10,000 to £15,000. However, just before the auctioneer announced this lot, he said that there would be no reserve on this particular bike, so it made it far more appetising to those that were bidding. It actually sold for £7,875, which in the grand scheme of things is pretty much a bargain. Now, cosmetically it looked pretty solid. You don't know what the engine's going to be like until you sort of strip it down, but someone could have got themselves an absolute bargain there. They could have a really nice bike on the road for under 10 grand. So they'll see when they get the engine apart, but very, very nice thing. Moving on to lot 127, the 1939 Brough Superior SS80. Very, very nice example, all matching numbers. Had an estimate of 50 to 60,000. Actually only achieved just above its top estimate, £61,875 all in, which for me was very, very, very good value. You just look at what's on the market at the moment and you'll see that that was a really good price for one of those. Then moving on to lot 131, the 1971 Suzuki GT750. Really nice early example. Had an estimate of £9,000 to £10,000, finished in that gorgeous lavender candy paint. Really, really nice bike. Sold for just £9,900 all in. So within its estimate, but again, you look at the market, there's two dealers at the minute in the UK that are asking 14, nearly 15,000 for very similar examples. So a good price for such a nice bike. Then moving on to the veteran and vintage machines, we showed three of those. Two didn't sell, but the one we picked actually, the 1919 Triumph Junior, that sold. It was quite a bit of interest in that. Nice little thing. Sold £5,625, just below its bottom estimate. Pretty good value. The next bike was a really, really nice machine. It was lot 142, the 1968 Bridgestone 350 GTR. Estimate £8,000 to £10,000. It was an absolute cracker, very rare machine. In fact, Bridgestone only made 9,000 of these bikes, which in Japanese volume terms, compared to Honda and the others, was minuscule. And it was the last production motorcycle that company ever made before just focusing on tyres. Beautiful bike. It actually sold for just above its top estimate of £10,125. Moving on to the 1992 Honda GB500 TT. A nice retro-inspired 500 single from the early 90s. Estimate on this was 3.5 to 4.5. However, it didn't reach that estimate. It remained unsold. So on that one, the bid goes on. Okay, the first of the two Paris-Dakar inspired bikes that we featured was lot 166, the 1988 Honda XRV 650, known as the Africa Twin. A first year example, Very nice bike. However, didn't inspire anyone in the room, and it failed to reach its bottom estimate of 6,500. So that one is still available. The second of the Paris-Dakar inspired bikes though did sell, and that was lot 169. It was the 1994 Cagiva Elephant, 900cc, Ducati engined, real beast of a bike, very fast, very nice thing, sold for £6,750. So, best bargain bikes of the auction. These are my top 5 that I think fetched the prices that would be most tempting and most pleasing. So, lot 107, 1984 Suzuki GSX 550, went for the grand total of £1,500, including fees and premium. A bike that's been restored, ready to ride. It's just, for that sort of money, it's just get on and go for 1,500 quid, bargain. Lot 133, which was the Triumph T120R, the 1966 American spec version, all matching numbers. It had a low estimate anyway, in my opinion, of 7,000 to 8,000. Again, fell within that, under £8,000 for one of these. I've seen these fetch well north of 10 quite often. So for that money, 1966 T120R, less than 8 grand, all sorted, bargain. Next up, lot 137, 1929 BSA S29 twin port. So a proper vintage motorcycle, eligible for the Banbury run, fully restored, all running, excellent condition, and it fetched just under 7,000, so £6,700 all in. Again, you'd go to a dealer and be paying £10,000 for one of these, so I think that was an excellent price. But the two that were real standouts were the ones we've already mentioned. The Honda KO for £7,000 could be, depending on its mechanical condition, an absolute bargain. And the Brough Superior, all that bike, all that brand, all that history, for £61,000 at the minute is superb value. So the other end of the scale, there were a couple of bikes that I think stood out as fetching strong money. The first one of those was the Triumph Hurricane, which was listed at 20 to 25,000, lot 129, so 73, absolutely immaculate X75. Actually fetched just under its top estimate of £25,000, which was a strong price for one of those, sort of towards the top end. And then lot 189, the 1965 Honda Superhawk CB77, again that fetched £6,000, just over, so which is a strong price for one of those as well. So to sum up, it's been a great auction. 100 different motorcycles went through, very varied collection of bikes, and we'd like to do more of these on the Classic Motorcycle channel, so please send your suggestions and your thoughts to the comments section below, and we'll see you again soon.